The following is brought to you by Stephen Terry Pest Elimination. If it's scary, call Stephen Terry at 713-477-0047.
You're listening to the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast.
What smells so bad?
It's strong, but you'll get used to it. Now, here are your hosts, Nick Stevenson and Naomi Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. Whatever time of day it is, wherever you may be listening in the world, welcome to episode 55 of the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast. I am your gracious and humble host, Nick the Bear. Somebody tickle me. Naomi Richardson is in the building.
Hey, hey.
Our producer is not in his normal spot, as you might see. Let me go ahead and bring the B-roll in. What it do, peeps? Joshua Beard, the producer, the realtor, the man who does it all, he's actually sitting at the table today, along with his better half, Mrs. Kayla Beard. What's up, Kayla?
Heyo.
How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
I'm doing very well. This is a much anticipated episode for me. Finally got you guys both sitting at the table. And I'm not at the table. What do you know? We had some last minute rearrangements, but we're doing good. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm actually kind of glad I'm back here because I'm in control of a lot of things that
Just how he likes it.
Thank you.
are going to be.
Thank you.
No, because I just put a bunch of new sounds on the board and I can't wait to share them with you guys.
New sounds of the board.
Here we go.
That means we're not going to hear any penis today. That's what
Is
that means.
Is that what it means? Are we sure about that? We will see.
That's my signature sound, Nick. Don't be stealing it from me.
You're absolutely right about that. No, trust me, it'll be well known that this is not a Josh Beard production, but not for bad reasons, I promise. So, guys, welcome to episode 55. We were one episode removed from our finale, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this season. It's been fun for us. I want to thank you guys while you're all here, because I don't know who'll be here next week. And while you're here,
Ooh, I like it.
I love you guys, and thank you so much for coming through this ride. Ladies and gentlemen, to the listeners, if you haven't started following us on social media, our Facebook might be a little fucked up today. I don't know. Something weird was happening.
Conspiracy
But
theory?
please follow us on all of our social medias. We have a Facebook, Instagram. We do have a Twitter, but pretty much anything that goes on Instagram and Facebook is all that's on our Twitter. And we have a TikTok that I want to put that to good use definitely next season. But
I think
go ahead and add us now.
I think Naomi said she's going to put some Vroom's TikToks on there.
There
so
we
get
go.
some traffic
Yeah,
going.
we need some
Say that
va-va-va-boom.
word right.
Va-va-va-boom. You said vroom.
You know,
Vroom.
same thing.
That's
like-
that's my
It could
motorcycle.
be a motorcycle or
Vroom.
what everybody else thinks
Okay,
it is.
I feel you. No, that's good.
That's how we'll get traffic.
And then, but no, if you guys haven't done so yet, please subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to whatever platform you like to listen or watch your podcasts on. We're on YouTube. We're on all the major podcast platforms. So go ahead and give us a sub. And if you notice in the description box, you'll see a little link there. It says bit.ly, just the tip TX. And that's a little tip jar if you're enjoying the show and you want to help contribute to what we're doing. Help contribute to what we're doing. What are you mad? The just the tip penis joke has been it's done.
That's not what we're talking about, Nick.
Okay, you wanted me to hit penis.
I did not.
I got
Actually,
some-
that's
I got
not what I
something-
wanted. That's
You
not
wanted me
what
to hit. You wanted me to hit. That's gonna be another sound
Just
drop.
the tip will never not.
You
be
wanted me to hit the
funny.
penis.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Sound
guys,
drops.
please leave us a tip, or if you probably turned the shit off already, we apologize. But the Spirit Swag store is back open, and we have a sale this October. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and all Caitlin Strong items are going to be 10% off. And remember, those proceeds this year are going to go to Universal Agape Love, the organization that Minnie came on the show to talk to us about. So all that stuff's going on. We're trying to keep active and keeping the brand out there, and we appreciate everybody who's rocked with us. Naomi,
Yes, sir.
it's good to have you here.
You seem so happy today.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling happier now.
That's good.
Yeah, Naomi, I'm glad you powered through, and this is not a slight on anyone who's not here. but I'm glad you powered through because I know how it feels. I mean, all I have to do is walk up the stairs, and sometimes it's
I
hard
don't
for me
live
to
too
come
far
do
away.
this. It's hard for me to climb the stairs sometimes. So
We can put an old man
thanks for
lift
being
in.
here. I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get into your headlines before we get to know the bearded producer and his wife.
Let's go.
Headlines.
All right, we got some crazy headlines today. Ecuador's president has declared a state of emergency in the prison system following a prison battle among gang members in a lockup that killed at least 118 people and injured 80 in what authorities say was the worst prison massacre ever in the country. Officials said at least 5 of the dead found were beheaded. So, yeah. So just a crazy. There's some crazy video out there. It's just bad. It's bad. A 17-year-old has been charged with murder after a police pursuit ends with the deaths of 3 valet workers here in Houston. Those valet workers were aged ages 18 to 23 near Prospect Park. Officers reportedly attempted to pull over a vehicle after they say the driver was seen doing burnouts and donuts in a parking lot. Investigators said the vehicle reached speeds of 60 miles an hour and struck 3 valet workers before crashing into a ditch. So I am super bummed about that story. Like, they were kids. They were kids hit by a car.
Yeah.
So they were just out there doing their jobs. And apparently these were some pretty good kids. So that just, it breaks my heart. It's just
Sorry
terrible.
to hear that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Pause.
Headlines.
Okay, go ahead.
Now we're official. And, friendly...
I don't know why I stopped that music. I'm sorry.
No worries. Friendly PSA. Make sure your drugs are not in the background of your Facebook Marketplace photos.
Dumbass.
Yeah. The story, which sounds like it should come out of Florida, is a Missouri man posted a catalytic converter for sale on Facebook Marketplace, but left a large bag of meth and syringes on the coffee table behind the converter.
Missouri is the Florida of the Midwest, so we're good.
All right, it's all the same. It's all the same. Reported by KHOU, when detectives arrived at his home, deputies said there were still 48 grams of meth and a pistol inside.
Damn.
Unfortunately, according to the sheriff's office, the catalytic converter is no longer for sale. So
Darn.
yeah, sorry
Darn.
about that. Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm boycotting Houston sports right now. I don't even want to talk about it. So don't.
Hey,
don't
the Astros won the division.
Yeah, the Astros won the division.
A big thank you to the Astros for keeping us all hanging in there, man. Our
We don't want
hopes
to
are-
talk about the Texans and their amazing upset loss.
Yeah, amazing.
How about
upset
them
loss.
Cowboys, though?
Oh,
Yes.
Gotta go. She's gonna be late.
Yes.
I'd rather talk about Brady and Belichick. Okay.
Okay, so if you didn't watch that game last night, that game, not only the game but the ending, them talking to
Which
the
game are we
reporters,
talking about?
The
Brady.
the Bucks versus the
Yeah, I didn't
Patriots.
watch that shit. I don't give a fuck.
No, it was good. It was cool because that's the
I'm
first time.
gonna be con for today. That game sucked.
Bullshit.
bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
I'm gonna go take a piss.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when you don't show up.
I mean, it was. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. I thought between the weather and you
Well-
could definitely tell that Brady was definitely out of his element. He was
Yeah.
he was feeling those emotions.
Absolutely. The Deer Park Deer won again.
Ooh.
Whoop, whoop.
They are now undefeated in district play, and they're in first place.
Got 2 bulldogs
Hell
here.
yeah! All right, forget about Houston news. We're moving
Yeah.
on to Deer
Deer
Park,
Park.
sports.
Teague Settle, the quarterback, threw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns, man.
Damn, way to go!
We're kicking ass. We beat South Houston. I can't remember the final score. We beat them by 3 touchdowns, though.
Be on the lookout for
Good
him being the next quarterback of the Texans next week. We're gonna sign him next week.
Hopefully. Is that it for headlines, Naomi?
I think so.
Fantastical. I apologize for the little mix up there. Not used to sitting back here at this producer board, you know.
Yeah, a producer
like-
would have made that mistake.
You definitely wouldn't have, and I know. Let me tell you what happened, though. So we were talking about the guy getting busted. We were talking about the guy getting busted at Prospect Park and charged with murder. And
Busted.
Same
it's
one
the
as
same button as the...
Yeah.
It's the same button as the headlines, so
Yeah.
I'll have to adjust that in the future. But thank you so much, Naomi. That was great.
I found this pocket now. I sound a little deeper. I like it.
You found
There it is.
you got to get in the pocket to get deep.
doing?
I sound deeper too.
Speaking of that, we're gonna be playing the Oldlywed game. We might find out just how good you are at getting deep in the pocket, there, sir.
That was good. That was good.
We
Nick.
might find
That
out.
was good. Dad joke of the episode.
But the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get an ad in for our friends at Amity Innovations. What's up, guys? It's Nick Stevenson once again telling you about Amity Innovations. Look, I realize I've already told you how they specialize in green energy, whole home solar systems, geothermal heating and cooling systems, and that's all true. They do that. But a huge part of what they do is providing whole home backup generators. Listen, here in the Houston area, we discovered firsthand there's not a time of year that you don't need to worry about possibly losing power. Hurricane season is here. Wintertime is coming. Summertime, you might lose your power. Don't be stuck in the dark. Don't be stuck in the hot or cold. Give Amity Innovations a call at 832-331-3580 or go to www.amitybgi.com. Get a free estimate. Tell them that the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast sent you. Call the green builders you can trust. Amity Innovations, where we create the difference. Alrighty, you guys give Amity Innovations a call. Jesus Christ.
It feels so much better to be over here, so I don't got to worry about being perfect or anything.
Did you just burp in the microphone?
Yes, he did.
I sneezed.
Yeah, no.
I sneezed. That's you.
God, I had you muted, and as soon as I unmuted you, you're like,
Got that timing down.
We got some great sound effects in this
as,
season.
as I was saying, you guys give Amity Innovations a call. Get those generators, your whole home generator from them. Because frankly, they're going to hook us up if you tell them we sent you.
Yeah, and I heard that this winter here in Southeast Texas is going to be really bad again.
Yeah.
Because of the polar vortex.
You guys get ahead of it.
Farmer's Almanac said so.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
always right.
You
That's
guys
where I
get ahead
my
of it.
news.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Is it the sports almanac?
That was dumb.
welcome to Getting to Know the Beard. It's All in the Family Part 5. And our All in the Family series started back in season 1, where we tried to help you guys get to know us. At that time, it was me and Chris Clark through our family members. So my brother participated. Both Chris Clark and my mother participated. Our wives participated. And then we did some extended family with the Jonathan and Stacy Hughes. So we want to just take the next step. We have a new crew now that we have the extension of Josh, Naomi, and Chris Kahn. We're going to be bringing in members of their family to help them get to know, help you get to know them. So Josh, Kayla, I'm so glad that both of you are participating in this. It's great. What's going on?
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
The B-roll's back up, bro. Anyways, no, so
This is barely Nick.
why do we let him drink?
I'm not even that. I'm fine.
Okay.
You're
this
the
is
one
gonna
that
be
gave him the
this is
alcohol.
gonna I didn't bring
I
that.
bought this.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna
Really
start.
cute.
Okay, we're gonna start. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. So let's get started by telling our listeners what your story is. First of all, I want to congratulate you guys for being together for 10 years. You guys recently celebrated that. How long you guys known each other?
15 years since freshman of high school.
How come you didn't answer, Josh?
He looked at
Ladies
me to
first.
answer.
Ladies first.
15 years. That is as long as my daughter's been alive, man. That's a long time. So 15 years known. You've been official for 10 years. So that means 5 years. What was going on for those first 5 years?
Really trying to figure everything out. That was a lot of growing and learning for sure.
High school.
High school. No.
So when you guys met where? In high school?
It was probably band camp, huh?
It was band
Camp. That's going to be a good
Best
story.
answer ever.
band camp. She hit me with her rifle.
Okay, so you guys were
actually did.
obviously
That's my flag.
so you guys were friends in high school before actually becoming a romantic item.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so did you guys like each other right away? Who liked who first?
Yeah. Me.
So you like Josh from the jump, right?
Yes.
Okay, and
Even
would you-
without the beard.
let me ask you a question. You liked him, but did you like? Did you have plans? Like, you just wait, boy. You just wait.
I think as high school went on, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Probably me thinking that, oh, you know, I knew that the kid was important.
Right.
Because I had gone through something in high school that was super traumatic in freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And he happened to be in the right place, right time. Nobody else was there. It was during testing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was like, because he went to go and joke with me, and then he just saw I was not in the mood. He goes, what's wrong? And then he actually sat down, talked to me, everything. And so no one had ever done that for a 15-year-old Josh. That's a big thing.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing here is there wasn't a lot of options.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I mean, that's awesome, though, because, I mean, at 15 years old, that's not what most guys are not interested in listening to what a girl's feelings are, and, like, that's kind of uncomfortable for them. But, you know, Josh, you're a good guy, and that's not surprising. Now, you said when we interviewed yesterday that you liked Kayla, and you thought maybe you guys would date, but you never saw it going past that.
Yeah, I didn't see forever thing.
Right.
But you know.
He was always dating somebody, too.
You had
Yeah.
other chicks, man?
He's a player.
Well, we both were. So, like, when he was
okay.
single,
You were
I was
seeing other chicks, too?
somebody, and then, yeah.
Now you see why I went after it.
There you go. There you go.
That's funny.
More fun with that one.
All right, so who made the first move on who?
We discussed this last night, and neither of us know which one. It was kind of a mutual thing.
I think it was more so you.
Okay.
It sounds like a woman thing.
Elaborate, because I don't remember.
At some point, one of you had to have this discussion, like, "Yo, what are we doing?" So
I remember it was a text message.
I don't want to see nobody else. Are you gonna see somebody else? Like, so at some point,
If only it was that way, Nick.
well, we can get into. I asked you guys what you guys, because you said what was your 10th anniversary?
September 22nd. It's,
Okay,
it's
so-
Mom's birthday.
That's not really what it is, though. We want to know what happened on September 22nd that made that the day you guys were official.
So actually, it's September 21st. It just
21st.
happened to be midnight.
So the 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the morning of the 22nd.
So what happened on
The
that
wee
morning?
hours.
We were hanging
What happened
out.
on that morning that made you guys official?
Well, we were hanging out with a friend because this one got upset because I was hanging out with
No,
somebody.
be
else.
real. I was jealous.
That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
He got jealous that I was hanging out with somebody, with one of actually our close friend. His name's Jason, and we've all met him before. But nothing there with me and Jason. Me and Jason are like brother and sister. It's
Right.
really weird, and he didn't like it. Had a big blowout argument at work. He tried to be like, I'm sorry, like, not fuck you, bro. Like, you pissed me off. Because that's just how I get. And so if I was like, you know what, we can talk about it and figure it out, but it's just like, if you're gonna get jealous, you got to figure out what you want from me. Jesus Christ.
There you
sorry.
go. There you go.
So,
So it sounds like Kayla made the first move.
Bro
Absolutely.
jealousy.
Okay.
I basically said put up or shut up. So
Ooh.
There comes a time in every man's
It wasn't
life
put out, it was
where he's
put
got
out
to
or shut
shit
up.
or get
No,
off the
put
pot. So what was Josh's response? I hope it was, baby, there comes a time in every man's life where you got to shit or get off the pot. And today I'm shitting.
Something like that.
less
No,
words.
I mean, so you told him, hey, like, you can't get jealous unless we're going to do this. So,
Yeah.
Josh, what was your response? Do you remember?
no.
No.
You're like, just somehow I ended up with this lady. I don't know what happened.
It was a whirlwind.
She gave me no other option.
She might have just hit you over the head with a frying pan.
Probably. If I remember correctly, she had came back over because at this time I was still living at my dad's house, and she had picked me up, and we were driving. I think we went to go get food or something,
Yeah.
and we just kind of talked about it because at that time you were still living with a friend in
In Webster.
and I was still living here in LaPorte, and I think we just kind of just talked about it. And kind of everything just kind of came out in that car ride.
Yeah.
I think we got back to like a friend thing, and it's like, you know what, we'll just be friendly about it, and if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. And then I don't remember how the conversation turned. Where I like how he bitched at you for using it.
Oh, I know. That's my favorite song on that drop over there.
Magic happens during
Except
car
I'm
rides.
using it at
really
very
does.
fitting times. We were talking about smelling farts, and he used it.
Because some people are into smelling farts, Nick. Don't be putting down people that like different things than you
I
do,
don't know
man.
who the fuck you're talking about then.
I didn't say I did. That ain't
Oh
my
my
thing.
goodness. Okay, so
He's
So
very
it's your mom's
inclusive.
birthday. It's your mom's birthday. Look,
Mom's gonna be so proud to
Did
hear
you guys
this.
get down that night? Come on, can we?
Nick just wants to get to the
That's what we
nitty
wanna know.
gritty.
It may have happened.
Something happened that made you official. You guys got down that night, right?
Yeah, I think after that night we went back to your place in Webster.
No, that's a different night. that's a different.
So this wasn't the first time y'all got down.
No.
Y'all got down when y'all were just friends.
What happened was we went back to your dad's. It was me, you, and Jason was third wheeling
Ooh,
like he
Jason
normally
was
does.
there.
Yeah, Jason third wheels the fuck out of our relationship until he finally got
He's our official third wheel, even though he's even married now. He's still our third wheel.
Jordan's just like, I'm not riding with y'all.
It's true.
But
That's funny.
we were talking through text message because just like, well, would you want a relationship, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't remember how the subject came. It was like, well, you had told me that, oh, you wouldn't have sex with me anyway. I went, I never said that. And you went,
Yeah.
are you sure? I went, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Look at that.
sure.
That was him.
Look at that
fishing.
gaslight. He was
text
gaslighting.
Yes, he was.
You'd never have sex with me anyway.
And then, he told me, like, we need to get rid of Jason. And went, all right, bet. Let's go take him home.
Alrighty.
Your mom is not going to
Okay.
be happy to hear that.
Yeah, she's not gonna love this. Neither is Jason. Jason's
And
gonna be like, okay, I'm
that's
listening to the episode.
When they kicked him out on the interstate.
Oh my goodness,
We
that is
almost
funny.
made him walk home. I'm not going to lie. Wasn't
No,
that
that's
Hey, I
hilarious.
mean, you
Now
know,
we're proud about that.
when duty calls.
Okay, so it's your mom's birthday. So what do you show up like? Happy birthday, mom. Oh, guess what? Smell my finger. I don't.
We're getting real personal, Nick.
I'm sorry.
No, I think that night when you slept over, I had mentioned to her that I was going out to eat for my mom's birthday with my mom.
Yeah, the morning of.
Yeah, and I think she ended up going with me.
Yeah. I met your mom and Nancy literally, I don't know, 12 hours after.
After a
Got
shower,
real.
I hope.
Yes,
Yes.
obviously.
You guys think your mom remembers this?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Well, ironically, she's on the phone right now.
God damn it.
Ah, yes.
Hello, Mama Beard? Mama Beard, are you there? Give me just a second.
Uh-oh. Way to go, Nick.
Not expecting that.
I'm sorry. Mama Beard, are you there?
I'm here.
Alrighty,
wow.
what's up? Welcome to All in the Family Part 5. It's so ironic.
Mom, cover your ears.
It's so ironic that you just called because we were just talking about you.
Oh,
Oh, you're
man.
just talking about me?
Yes, I have a question for you. Were you aware that the day that Josh and Kayla became official just happened to be your birthday?
Yes.
You
I
were
know
aware.
that.
Oh, okay. We were, yeah, that's what we were talking about. It was your birthday. And so I asked Josh and Kayla, well, what was the thing that made you guys official that day? You may be interested to know.
Do I want to hear this?
Probably turn it off.
Maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't know what your relationship with the kids is here, but
Go through a tunnel.
go through a tunnel. Yeah, apparently they were doing some naughty things that you wouldn't have been proud of at the time.
Or maybe she
Oh,
would
no.
have.
Mom says you're grounded. Mama Beard, I'm so happy that you called in. Look, we're just sitting here getting to know the kids, the kiddos. And the reason I wanted you to join in on this conversation, not only because we love you, you support the show, you support everything that Josh does. So we appreciate you so much. And I just wanted to finally let everybody hear your voice and finally get a chance to talk to you. I need you to give us a funny Josh and Kayla story, if you got one.
I don't really have a funny Josh and Kayla story because the first
If you
time
got
I
one
met
that's juicy,
Kayla-
that's good too.
No, I don't. They keep to themselves pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Josh's baby book then. Let's talk about that. I wanted
But
to.
I will say the first time that I met Kayla,
Mhm.
I kind of had an inclination that they were more than just friends. Josh told me it was his friend, but
Right.
Mama's instincts told me there was more going on.
Absolutely. You saw right through that bullshit. I
But,
know.
but you know, one of the things I really admire about them two and their relationship is their friendship. They have a great
Yeah.
friendship. And
Oh, absolutely.
It's
And
based on that.
And I told them, 15 years. I have a child that's 15 years old, so that's a quarter of a lifetime for some people. And I told them the great thing about doing this show, and I kind of have to eat crow with because my daughter ironically has a boyfriend, and they're the same age difference that Josh and Kayla were. And so I was like, great, now I can't tell my daughter that you don't marry the person that you fall in love with the first time, because look at them.
Exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, so I actually, the next question I was gonna ask was about when you found out about them being together. Were you happy? But from what I gathered, then you expected that it was gonna happen, right?
Yes, I expected it was going to happen. I could tell Josh was extremely happy, and I could just tell there was something going on there. They had a good friendship, and
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing that they have this good friendship and it leads to a good marriage.
Absolutely. And Mama wasn't gonna let nobody hurt her baby.
Absolutely.
She's protective.
Mama wasn't gonna let nobody hurt her baby. Well, Mama Beard, we appreciate you taking the time, and I'm glad. It was a surprise, 100%. They did not see it coming, so we did our job.
That was good. That was good. I saw you playing with
I
your
do
phone
have-
over there.
Go ahead.
I do have a couple of brief funny stories I can share about Josh.
Let's hear about
Oh
it.
no.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bathroom break.
One of my favorites is when Josh was about 4 or 5 years old. We're riding in the car, and he's in the back seat. All of a sudden, he screams out, "Where are my eyebrows?" I turn around and I look. I'm like, "What?" And he says, "My eyebrows are gone." And he is feverishly rubbing his forehead. He says, "Oh." He gets a little lower and he says, "Oh, there they are. Oh, there they are."
That's my favorite story.
That is amazing.
I knew it as soon as she said in the back of the car. I'm like, there's only one story that took place in the back of the car. I already know.
That is awesome.
And
I'm so glad you said that.
That's one of my favorites. I love it. And I'll fast forward to when he was looking for his first job.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he knows. So he had his first job interview at the Sonic. So for some reason, I thought he could get through an interview just fine. I never thought he would struggle through an interview.
Right.
Well, it turns out I was wrong. I knew it didn't go well when I was asking about how it went. He told me the interviewer asked him if he wanted to improve himself as a person. You know what Josh said? "No, I'm just fine with who I am and what I'm doing right now. I don't think I need improvement."
I was ahead of the times back then. I'm proud of who I am.
Self-confidence. Hashtag self-love. I got it.
Oh.
Well, Mama Beard,
That's two of my favorites.
I got to tell you, you did a fantastic job raising him. He's one of the best people that I know. He's one of my very best friends. And I couldn't be more happy to have him a part of the podcast. And I'm fortunate that he allowed me to be a part of his family and get to meet you guys as well. So thank you so much for joining us and telling
You're
us those
welcome.
awesome stories. And we'll talk to you again down the road. We're going to have to get you in the studio at some point.
Okay, thank y'all.
For sure. All right.
Love you, Mom.
Love
Taylor.
you.
All right. We love you.
Bye.
All right. That was Mama Beard.
She's awesome.
Okay, I
Nick.
love her.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's a hoot.
She's gonna really love when he did a finger joke right before he called her. She's gonna love that.
Literally just been.
She's gonna be wait. Here's the phone call. That's not the phone call. What is that? just wait for that one.
Oh, my goodness. All righty.
That was good, Nick. That was good. I'll give you 1 point. 1 point.
That was really
All
good.
right, man. So once you guys start dating, when does the
Who else
idea,
you gonna call?
when is the
Don't
idea
call my parents.
when is the idea
He's
of
probably gonna call
marriage?
Noah. Watch.
Oh, please, God, don't.
He's like, damn it.
When is the idea of marriage, like let me start with you, Josh. When did you realize that, because before you said you didn't see it going that far, so when did you start seriously thinking about, I think I could spend my life with this woman?
I think it really put into place when we had gone through so much and she was still by my side with a lot of it. I think that really showed her character, who she was. And I think at that point that was like, you know what, I could ride or die with this person.
Yeah.
Regardless of what goes on. And yeah, it just kind of grew from that.
Yeah, and so when
No crying.
What?
No, so for you, Kayla, were you? Let me go back because I don't remember if I asked this yesterday. Were you guys living together before married?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
basically moved in with him and his dad
Okay,
during the weekends and
Okay.
while I was at school.
so Kayla, you told me when we were talking on the phone that you were one of those like traditional, like at some point you knew you wanted to be married. So after a while of dating, you kind of started being the one to put the idea out there, like, hey, when are we doing this?
Yeah. It really, once we hit a year, that was like, okay, this is serious. You know, and at this point, we already had our first apartment, I think, before we were 6 months in. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, our first apartment was, about 6-7 months in.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that's pretty quick for, I guess, a new couple. And then we even made the joke, it's like, well, we're getting a 2-bedroom, so if something happens, we each have our own room.
Yeah.
All my furniture is in the master, so I get the master.
It's funny. I was thinking this as you were telling us about you guys becoming official, because it seems like history repeats itself. Because you were the one who were kind of like, hey, we doing this or not? And now the same thing with the marriage thing.
You'll learn that Josh is indecisive about big decisions.
Yeah.
And I think it was a big decision for him to actually, well, do I want to settle down? Not that I don't think it was, he didn't want to settle down with me, but it was just,
The idea of
it's a
it's
big thing for
scary.
guys. Yeah.
It is.
The idea of it's scary.
Yeah.
Especially if you if you were raised in a family that had divorce and you saw the downside of it,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
tough.
and both of us are divorced, so we both came from broken homes, and it's kind of like, okay, is that what we're kind of destined to be?
Right.
Is that something that's going to happen regardless? Like, I don't want to get down that road if that's going to be the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it happened at different ages for him. It happened when you were a teenager, right? Or almost a teenager.
Probably 9 or 10. Mom will probably correct that in the comments. Probably 9 or 10 though.
And see, my parents were never married, but they split up when I was like 3. So I've never really known my parents to be together.
Yeah.
They,
And so
they don't like each other.
not having that example, not
other.
having an example of, a good, healthy relationship, I guess. Josh, you told me there was a friend of yours who kind of started encouraging you to settle down.
Yeah, when I was working offshore, I had a really good buddy, and he just kind of he saw what I was going through and what we were going through as a couple, and he ultimately, I'll credit to him for a lot of the stuff that I'm really into now, guns and fishing and outdoors. He really kind of put that into me, almost like a father figure.
Yeah.
And then ultimately kind of being a husband figure, because he was doing the same thing I was doing, but he had taken that step and was married and I wasn't.
Right.
And, he kind of put that in my ear. Hey, if she's putting up with this and y'all are going through it together, he's like, why don't you just make it official? It's something that it's the next step. I mean,
Right.
what are you kind of waiting for? And it just kind of really changed my perspective on the situation, on exactly what was going on.
Right. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So now we get to the
Are you crying over there?
No, you're crying. I'm not crying. You're
we
crying.
get to the story of once you decide, okay, I'm going to marry her, you got to ask her now. So let's hear that story.
Great. Here it is. No, we had talked about it, and I think the week prior, if I'm not mistaken, we had gone and looked at a couple of rings at the Zelle store. And at that time, we were just kind of getting ideas. It wasn't something that I was like, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Right.
And I ended up that weekend going to get, hey, I'm being respectful.
You got to hold up the mute sign.
Yeah, mute. I ended up going that weekend and getting pre-approved for a credit card and went ahead and bought the ring that she had tried on and absolutely loved. Went ahead and got sized. And I think I took it home that weekend. And I ended up hiding it in our closet. I put it into an ammo can. I know you're shaking your head, Nick.
But he knew I wouldn't look. He's like,
Yeah.
she ain't gonna touch that
She
shit.
wasn't gonna touch the ammo, but
She gives no shits.
we had got into some little tiff about something, and it came up with the fact of being married. I don't know exactly what the argument was,
I can't tell you.
and something was said about, well, something like what was how you said it?
I don't remember. We have these things
When
where
we
we're
talked
in, like,
last
small
night,
tiffs.
right?
Go ahead,
When we
sorry.
talked, no. When we talked last night, you said something to the effect of, "Well, we're not ever getting married anyway, or you're not gonna."
Yeah,
ask.
Yeah.
that's what she had said, and I said, "Oh, really?" And me being stupid, and I
Hold
was
my beer.
probably drinking then. I walked into and grabbed the ammo can and grabbed that nice giant ring box, and
And
I
I'm
said,
not paying attention to what the fuck he's doing. I'm just
said-
like, fuck him. Like,
I said, "Oh, we're not gonna get married," and I held it up, and she's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I went, "Ha ha," and ran off.
at our 1-bedroom apartment.
At our 1-bedroom apartment. Anybody that knows this, that apartment it was probably no bigger than the studio that we're sitting in right now.
That's hilarious.
It was small.
It was small, and at that time I went ahead and showed her. You know, it was the one that she had wanted, and you know, I'm waiting for the perfect time. And this just so happened to be in December, and my goal was to do it on Christmas Day.
Right.
But both of us being excited and wanting to get it done,
Fucked up all your plans.
all gone.
He fucked up his own play.
Yeah, the ha ha ha. I ended up asking to marry at my I call her my sisters, but it was just my sisters get together
Right.
in front of all them and my parents and my mom, and did it there. It was something that we already kind of knew it was happening, but I think being able to put that energy out,
Yeah.
kind of relieved everything, kind of put everything at ease instead of having to wait
Right.
that extra 4 days. We
Right,
just
right,
went ahead and did it in 24 hours.
Man, when you, I had all these grand plans to ask my wife to marry me, and one day I was just laying in the bed and I was like, "Fucking, she's laying right there." Ask her. Like, I had all these stupid shit you see on YouTube, like, you know, I had all these, and I was like, "This is dumb."
Yeah.
I'm here, she's here. Will
it
you
over
marry
with.
me? Yeah.
Although I
So-
hate it because sometimes I look at those videos and I'm like, man, that's a good idea.
But you know what?
Damn it.
You know what? It was so good because even then when you showed it to me, of course, like boo-hooed cried because I'm a bitch sometimes when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because it was just that, like, for Josh to make a huge decision, that's a big deal.
Right.
And so for him to show that he actually went through, bought the ring, and was wanting to marry
Attaboy,
me,
Josh.
you know, like that was a big deal. And like to me, that meant more than anything. Than obviously, I could spend the rest of my life with this dummy.
Yeah. Well, and like she just said, is I didn't ask anybody for help. I didn't go to parents. I didn't go to friends. And, ask them to go with me to the store or anything.
Did the damn thing.
I left work, went straight there, got pre-approved, picked the ring out, brought it home like nothing happened, and just
Went on with it.
went on with it.
He did ask me to marry him in our apartment though, like with our dog.
We did.
Rocket.
Aw.
So that was kind of cool, and I mean, sometimes
Cool.
it works out like that, you know.
Alrighty, that's a beautiful. No matter. Here's the thing: it's beautiful because it's your story,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's what makes it awesome. And you're gonna tell your kids; they'll tell their grandkids. It's a beautiful thing. So you guys got married on November 5th, 2016, and so that means you're coming up on your 5th anniversary.
Yep.
Yep.
That is beautiful. So let's talk about some of the challenges that you had early in marriage, because we all have them. They say the first year is the hardest. Do you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
I don't know who
100%.
they are.
Yeah. They,
But-
they are has to be just about everybody, but.
Yeah.
I think for us though, it wasn't the normal, I guess, hardships for that first year. You as being a plant worker probably know where this is going, but
Yeah.
at that time, when you're married, that first year is the most important. That's when you're really getting to know each other. Regardless if we've I've been together for the last couple of
It's different.
years. It's different.
different,
It,
yeah.
it really is. And not being around for the majority of that first year, working in the plants and being offshore was just not healthy for a freshly engaged or freshly married couple. It's not.
Yeah.
And I'll take my hat off to anybody that works in that kind of industry that's able to do that on a daily basis. It takes courage. It really does. It's a really difficult thing for both of them. I mean, it's not. I mean, the money's nice. And I think I talked about this or mentioned it when Larry and Steven were here, but I loved when Larry said that when he had quit his job, that it was worth more the time and not the money.
Right.
And that's kind of where that kind of happened.
Yeah.
Your work schedule caused some issues between the two?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a little while because so we got married at the end of 2016 and we bought our house in 2017. And
A couple months before Harvey.
yeah, and then Harvey hit
And
actually,
Dickinson.
And Dickinson, yeah. And he wasn't home. It was just me by myself with our dog, and that was rough.
Yeah.
Because he had the day off, or you didn't go in the day before.
No, so I stupidly took the day off before the storm hit, thinking that it was going to be fine.
Well, because it was supposed to hit that day.
Right, and it didn't hit that day because remember it slowed down.
Right.
So then I went in the next day, which was the same day it hit,
Got stuck.
and I ended up getting stuck for almost 16 hours. She went through the whole first wave by herself. With at that time we only had one dog, but she went by herself. New place, new house, new city. No idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know where the nearest, emergency space would be or gas station right quickly.
And
Right.
I'm in a small car, like it just.
Well, you might be happy to know I've got your old boss on the phone. You can ask him, why the fuck did I have to go to work that day? No, I'm kidding.
Actually, I don't
What's
mind
up,
talking
Mr.
shit to
Ricky?
that motherfucker.
I'm just kidding.
No, and man, that was another thing, and that was definitely probably getting a little ahead of myself, but that was definitely the first nail in the coffin about, am I really wanting to do this long term? Am I really wanting to do this shift work long term?
Yeah.
Because at that time, it didn't feel like anybody cared that my wife is, semi-miles away from the coast.
Oh, let
getting
me help you
slammed.
out. They didn't care.
Oh, they didn't care.
They didn't give a
and,
shit.
And all the other guys on the ship, they're all single, so like they
Yeah.
couldn't even be like, dude, we don't know.
And
what to
even
tell
the
you.
guys who aren't single, they're like, oh, well, my wife's stuck in the rain too. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even get home, bro. Why does that matter? And it was like, oh,
Exactly.
we're a different breed,
That's
bro.
just the attitude. That's what I was saying. You are a different breed because there's a lot of people who work those schedules and honestly don't care. They just want the money. And look, my job as a father and a husband is to keep my wife happy and keep my girls from stripping. So like I have to be
Absolutely.
I have to be present to do that. So like I'm not saying every guy who works in the plant, his wife is cheating on him and his daughter's a stripper. But there's probably some guys who work out there whose wife's cheating on him and their daughter's a stripper.
Absolutely.
So
Trucks be coming in with key marks all up and down them, and
right.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, for sure. But so the schedule was a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it went from DuPont, which was fine,
Right.
and then someone, I'm not going to say any names, some genius idea thought it would
Do
be
it.
4 on, 4 off.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that sounds really great, 4 on, 4 off. Except for it turned into 6 and 2, and then it went to
Right.
7 and 1, and you went, you know what, screw it, just work as much as possible,
Right.
because we don't want you to go home ever.
Right.
And that's really what it turned into. And it was, coming from working day shift, be off the night, be off the morning, right
Yeah.
back at it at night. It was,
So Kayla, I don't know if you remember, you told me about the conversation you had with him. I asked you guys like what was the breaking point?
It got to the point where like, the job I was working at, I worked way too fucking much, and my old boss knows that. So if you want to call him, you can.
we'll get his number right now.
I was going in. I was a manager at a medical office, and going in at fucking like 7 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
not getting off till 8.
Yeah.
I would never see him, and then it just got to the point like even like phone conversations didn't last long. He would forget the call because usually we have a very good routine. Like when we call, he'll call me on the way into work, call me on the way home. Like, hey, coming home, going to work, love you, whatever, blah blah blah.
Right.
He didn't even do that. It got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna test this out, and he didn't even text me, didn't even call me. If it wasn't for Live 360, I would have known that you didn't die.
Right.
And it
God
just
bless Lab 360.
God damn. Yeah. And then it just got to the point where I was just like, he's working too much. Like the money's not worth it because it's just like I don't even get to do anything fun with my husband. Like I binged fucking Ghost Adventures twice. Like there was 10 seasons at the time, and I was like, this is a problem. So
Right.
I made him. He actually had a day off. I told him that you're not going in. You're gonna go eat lunch with me at work, and you're gonna meet me there instead of me making me come home and eat lunch with you. You're gonna put in the work
Right.
and come meet me. And so we met at Mod Pizza, and we sat down.
I don't know.
Yeah, I baited him with nice, yummy food, and be
Which
like,
we
hey,
don't go to anymore because of this conversation right
it's a
here.
bullshit lie.
Mod is delicious.
Yeah, and it's very,
If
very
they're
good
not a
for
sponsor,
talking.
but they can be.
They can be.
That's why we got so many stickers. Sat down with them and was like, we need to talk about what's going on because if you keep doing you know, this keeps going on this path that we're on, we will not last. Not because it's not me, it's not us putting in the work. We're obviously putting in work, but not into the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want that to happen. I'm sure you don't want that to happen. We were only married for like, I think 2.5 years at this point. And I was like, that's bullshit. And I didn't marry you on my grandparents' anniversary, and you're going to use your grandpa's ring.
Grandpa's ring.
My hick came out.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just to be another plant divorce.
Yeah, it's just like, we're not going to do that. Like, that's bullshit, you know? And I've seen 2 healthy relationships in a plant, you know, or plant relationship work. We're not going to do that. So you need to put in work. And so he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, cool. He made a decision. I'm not doing anything. Like, put up or shut up. Yeah.
Stop that overtime.
Yeah, man. So there was a lot of things you could have done at that point. Why realtor?
Whew. At that time, like she said, during that time we were buying our first home. And when we had first bought it, it's really when the bug was put into my ear about possibly doing real estate.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was still more about the money than the time. I didn't want to sacrifice, because everybody knows it's a commission-based job. Just because you show a house doesn't guarantee you get a paycheck.
Right.
You know, in our industry, they say every day you wake up unemployed unless you get a new listing or you go under contract. Like that's the reality of it. And I was like, man, I don't really want to do that. Because the person, like I said, we were buying our house. A local realtor here was kind of encouraging me to do that. That really wanted me to pursue it, because he liked the way that I was very, friendly, or it can talk to anybody. All y'all know that I can sit here and talk to anybody all day long. Whose is that?
It's not ours.
Not me.
It's that phone right there, Nick.
Go ahead. Keep talking, sir.
Yeah. Nice.
I can't see.
Hey,
it.
I'll get it.
Oh my god. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Bloop, 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 bloop.
No, and he
You were talking about how you don't work too much now because your work phone never goes off. In the
Yeah, it
middle
don't
of you
go
doing
off. No, that was my sleep time
That's
alarm.
actually his personal phone.
Yeah, that was my sleep time alarm. No, and I thought about it, but I really didn't know if I really wanted to do that. You had the commission thing, and some of y'all don't know, but getting started in real estate is tough.
Right.
I mean, you have to have some liquid money to be able to get started up front.
And him and the realtor that we use, they meshed very well. And I think that's another thing that he liked, was he wanted to bring Josh on his team. I mean, when we were buying the house.
Yeah, he wanted me. He basically, after I closed, wanted me to go ahead and join his team.
Yeah.
So
what's crazy about this, as I listened to you telling this, and yesterday, I asked you the question, why realtor? And you told me about the guy who was encouraging you, but you didn't really want to do it because of this and that. So ultimately, the answer to that is, I don't know, I was crazy, because it's not like, oh, I'm going to be a realtor and like, oh, I'm going to quit my job, guaranteed paycheck,
right,
making money, and I'm going to go be a realtor now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said it last night,
it was a leap of faith.
It was definitely a leap of faith.
For
and
sure.
it was either I jump off this cliff and I just head first into the rocks at the bottom, or wind picks me up and I take it as far as I can go.
Yeah. How'd that conversation go when you told Kayla?
That she was excited about the time, but not excited about the pay, because it was not something that she was comfortable with, something she wasn't used to. And to be full disclosure, I wasn't used to that either, because at that time, I was raised that if you quit jobs or you move jobs, you're always moving up.
Right.
You're moving up. The pay better be different. You don't quit the last job until you got another job.
Right.
And in this case,
there were just too many variables that we were like, well, what if?
Yeah,
there was a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
There is a lot of what ifs.
But you did it.
Yeah, and I had a little bit of a shove. Most people don't know this, and I love when we come on here and talk, because we could tell everybody. But that, and this goes back. You know exactly where I'm about to go with this. Is the lovely plant politics.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I had the highest seniority at the plant, minus some other people, and they had got me on video, but couldn't provide the video of me not wearing a hard hat while throwing a roll switch in the middle of a yard with nothing else next to me.
Right.
And they brought me into a room and were like, well, this is what we have. I said, you know what? I know where this is going. I'm going to go ahead and quit now.
Yeah.
I'm done. Because I knew where it was going. I mean, it was going to be, hey, we're going to send you home. Because
This is how the conversation went.
Because at this particular plan, I'm not going to throw shade, but it was, you did something, you're going to go home for an extended amount of time. We're not going to tell you how long that is. And you're just going to sit at home and
Not collect the paycheck.
you may or may not have a job.
Right.
And I wasn't willing to do that.
Right.
I wasn't willing to give her the stress of me being at home and be quote unquote being employed.
Right.
But not really knowing if I was employed. And so I just went ahead and took that and was like, you know what? Let's do it. I'm done.
So you jumped.
I jumped.
You jumped. All right. So
first.
you go, yeah. So as you said, you go from guaranteed money to now, like you said, until you got an offer or you're closing on something, like you're not bringing in any money.
Yeah.
So talk about the struggles of dealing with that. Like you made the move for the right reason, but it wasn't a seamless transition.
No, it wasn't. And that first year, I think really,
Well, because you got to think, when you quit, you didn't have your license. So we had to go through the time of him getting his license,
Right.
which that solely depends on the person. Because
So you didn't have it
released-
when you quit.
No.
no, when I quit, I
He
in
hadn't
my
even
mind,
bought
I
the
knew what my
fucking
goal
course,
was.
like-
My goal was to leave at the end of that year.
Right.
And this was in October, conveniently right after I brought my brand new truck. And I was like, great, this is where this is going to go.
Right.
And I remember coming home, and she was still asleep. This was when she was still working at the medical office.
No, you called me on the way home.
No, I didn't call you.
No.
I waited till I got home and said, hey, I just want to let you know, I don't work at the plant anymore. And I've never saw this woman stand up so fast in bed.
Especially when I'm dead sleep. Like,
Dead
once I'm
sleep,
I'm
and she
asleep.
just what? And I said, yeah, I went ahead and quit. And I think that as scary as that was definitely one of the major turning points for what would ultimately be what we are now, sitting in front of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that time I hadn't
Because
started my classes
because
or
of the
anything.
reason you did it for, like, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Like Kayla said, this is a problem. It's going to be a problem if we don't do something about it. And you
Right.
did the right thing. You took the step to do the right thing. Now it was kind of crazy that you weren't working, but
He went a little overboard with me saying that.
right. So moving along though, let's talk about once you have your license, you're working, you're trying to work, but you're not bringing in what you used to bring in. So let's talk about some of those challenges, and then we'll every marriage has challenges. You guys probably have challenges up to this day. So
Yeah.
But let's talk about those early challenges of you making that career decision.
I can tell you there was a lot of days without lights. There was a lot of days without lights.
Without water.
Without water.
We had to go use my old boss, Liego, his gym membership to go take showers
Wow.
one
Yeah.
time. And then, there was times where we even had to stay at someone else's house for the night.
Yeah.
Because, you can't get your power back on until morning. And by the time we fucking realized it was already 9 o'clock at night, it's like, well, shit, ain't nothing to do.
Yeah, and if you know us, we're not anybody that, if we ask for your help, it's
You
like
really
dire.
need it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's like die tomorrow type situation.
Right.
And at that time, we were still kind of figuring out who we were because we were so freshly married, and
Going through
You know,
something
it's not-
so major.
yeah,
was
Stuff like
hard.
that could easily break a new marriage.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It can break a marriage that's been going on for years.
And we're not
Yeah.
going to say that there were times where it almost came close because we were just
Yeah.
like so at, what is it, wit's end about everything.
we're at to
It
his
was
necks.
Yeah.
for sure.
You told me last night that, Josh, you were struggling with feeling like you put you guys in that position by making the decision you did with your career. And Kayla, you told me that, like, not in a rude way, but you're like, hey, we can't bitch about this. Like, we just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I imagine it's good. I'm going to tell you, there's times when I've gotten down on myself more than I should. And your woman, the woman in your life or the man in your life, whoever your partner is, there's a time where they should hold you and hug you and tell you it's gonna be okay, and then there's times where they need to put a foot in your ass and say, hey,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
hey,
Absolutely.
no time
don't
for
sit
the pity
around.
party.
There's no time for you to sit around feeling sorry about for yourself. Like, we got our lights are off right now, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we got to
I
figure
can't
this
see
shit out.
you be mad at me right now, but I know that
But I
you're
can
mad at
feel
me.
your eyes.
Yeah, man. So I mean, and the fact that you guys survived all of that, I mean, that's just one more. One of the analogies I like to use is having your relationship proved by fire. That's how you make a strong sword, is you continue to prove it over and over again with fire, and it becomes stronger. And so you guys have done that, and that everything that you've gone through in the past is going to help you in your future adversities. Be like, look, we already know we made it through all of that. We're going to go through this and we're going to come out just fine.
Yeah.
And I do want to go ahead and start talking about one of your more recent adversities. Cause you guys, you're going through you're checking off all the lists of living together, engaged, married, your careers start to come around. You said around 2020, Josh Beard Realty's kind of taking off. Your career's taking off, Kayla. So the next step for most people is what? Like, let's talking about having kids.
Yeah.
When did you guys first decide, hey, I think we're at a point we can start talking about this?
Yeah.
I think right before the pandemic, so right in around January, February
Okay.
2020.
of 2020, and that's really when we started. Hey, this is the year. Let's go ahead and get everything started. We got everything
Because
rolling.
we were already getting our shit together. Like, we had, by January, we had already, in January, we had already had some stuff to come together to where we were kind of out of the rut that we were in. We
Right.
were still struggling, but it wasn't like there was no end in sight. And
You could
so,
you could see
Yeah.
a space where, hey, we can have a child and do
Yes.
this.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's for couples. I'm assuming when you guys first got married, you knew eventually you're gonna have children.
Oh yeah.
So
I think
when
that's
you get
everyone's
to the
ultimate
point
goal.
where you feel like, okay, we're ready to do this, that's a very exciting time.
It is.
However you guys want to do it, I want you guys to go ahead and talk about some of the struggles and adversities that challenge had brought up.
Well, the pandemic happened, and so because we were trying, and then the pandemic happened, and it was.
I was trying.
Yeah, there was a lot of there was a lot of time to try during the pandemic. You're
Yeah.
stuck in the house.
Plenty of time.
But what scared us during the pandemic was, and this is kind of had, I say Josh can't make a big decision, but I also can't make a huge decision sometimes without him, because he's just like, we're very dependent on each other, and so
Right.
whenever the pandemic was happening, they had where the wives were in the delivery room by themselves. I'm like, oh, I'm not pushing a fucking watermelon out
that's-
without my husband.
No, that's the first thing I told her. I was like, what really scared me is this is pre everything. We don't know what's going on. Is the world ending? Whatever.
Right.
And they were making the women go in there by themselves. Like
Yeah.
they were doing checkups by themselves. No husband. You're not.
Yeah.
Basically, you're not shit. You need to stand outside.
And honestly,
like,
that kind of takes away from the
The
experience.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
and
if you're not in there and going a little personal, and I mean, this is what we do, but I didn't want her for something to happen
Right.
in that room, and she has to make a decision, but she has to make it by herself.
Right.
And I'm not saying she's not a big girl and she can't do it, but I know that she is just like me, and we kind of feed off each other's.
You guys are a
energy about
team.
what's
we
going-
value each other's like
You guys are a
whether
team. Yeah.
like it was gonna be the same decision or not the same decision. It's like we're very much like, let's talk it out of all the things,
Right.
and then we will figure it out. And
Yeah.
that was something that's like, God forbid, like the pregnancy could have gone great, get to the delivery room, there's always that something can go wrong.
Right.
Are you gonna have to run out to the parking lot to go ask my husband, like, what if I died? Like, that was something that really scared the shit out of us. And we're like, we're
Right.
gonna hold off for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when shit kind of got better, where I think eventually when I was back in work in September, we kind of had a discussion. Like, well, let's go ahead and start trying again. And
When I asked Josh if you guys were trying, he told me, "Well, we're not trying."
yeah, yeah, we're not
We're not
trying.
preventing it, but
yeah. I
I
feel
mean,
you.
shit happens.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, it happened. In May, a girl
Of
brought in
2021.
Yeah, of 2021. A girl brought in like soup or some shit, and it was not the TikTok meme is good soup, but it was not good soup because she brought it in, and immediately I was just like, oh, that smells gross, and I had to like take my laptop, get up, and walk out, and I'm like, I don't have a weak stomach. There's something wrong, and so I called him, and I was like, I think I'm pregnant. He goes, what?
Well, because you have to remember too is. Kind of rewind just a little bit. When I was still working offshore, there had been a lot of times that I'd be flying out in a helicopter and I would receive a text message and be like, hey, I think I'm pregnant. I'm like, are you?
That's not what I did.
What?
I was like, yo, I'm late on my period. And you're like, what are you pregnant? Like, that's not what
So there was a lot of those. And that's why that reaction was like,
Right.
is it really happening? Like is this, we've been talking about it. Here it is. You know,
Right.
it was real.
Yeah. Took a pregnancy test. Couldn't find out I was.
4 of those.
I took more
And
than
it
4.
ain't like a COVID test where you take one. You got to take about 5 or 6 of those confirmed.
I know Whitney's are still downstairs.
Yeah,
from
so are ours.
So are ours,
from 20 years ago.
Yeah, we have them.
And-
Naomi's like, I threw those things away.
No, yeah, I'm not
That's
keeping
gross.
that
Peed
stuff.
on those.
Yeah, for real.
And I didn't even pee on the end. I just peed on the whole thing.
But yeah, so we come to find out we were pregnant and made our appointment, whatever. And then it got to the point where we're like, well, we need to probably tell our parents
Right.
because we live in Dickinson. We both have very high energy jobs. We're gonna need help. Like, that's so far as like, because our house is not 100% done. Like, we have also been in remodeling
For the
since
last
we
4
bought
years.
the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we need help with stuff like that because also I'm not gonna be able to do a lot of things like no lifting, no getting down on my knees and like putting fucking flooring together
Right.
because I don't want to do that anyway. So we know we're gonna need help, and so the kind of discussion of having to get 2 sets of parents, like so 4 altogether.
Oh, this can be the first time they hear about this if they listen to it.
Yeah, they're gonna probably be upset, but
No, it took 2 weeks. I think we got everybody down
Yeah.
except for Mama Beard, because at this time, during all the pandemic, she had bought a piece of little slice of paradise up in Livingston, and she was going up there every weekend, kind of getting it ready. And it's kind of out of the norm for us to be like, hey, let's go have lunch on the weekend. Usually ours is like, hey, we're going to lunch in 30 minutes. You want to join?
and also Josh's mom is like 100 questions at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So
What are we doing? What's it
going
for?
on?
Why are we going?
Why are we going?
What is it?
Y'all never do this. What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
son of a bitch. And so it stressed me out. I had a panic attack,
Yeah.
which I don't get those often. And of course, with being pregnant, like your hormones are everywhere. And so
Right.
Josh was like, okay, we'll get it. We're just going to tell her. So that way she can, no offense, Mama Beard, but shut the fuck up so we can get everybody else done. And so we FaceTimed her, showed her the books and then the actual test. And then we got she was kind of our inside man. Of course, all of our parents aren't dumb and they get the El Toro's like, what are y'all doing here?
Yeah, the funniest thing was we parked across the street. I don't know what it is now. I think it's an apparel store or whatever. And we backed up and where we could still see the parking lot of El Toro's. And if you're in LaPorte, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was funny because we just sat there and watched the parents arrive. Like, there goes my dad, there goes her dad. And the only thing we're thinking of is like, they're pulling in all at different times, so they're not seeing each other.
Yeah.
But when they walk in, they're going to have to be seeing each other. And it just happenstance that there's 4 sets of parents in the same spot. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Which my brothers gave it away. They're like, Kayla and Josh are across the street. They're like, why?
Yeah. With kids.
Y'all were not good sneakers.
No.
No, I was like, next time text me. Shut
But
up.
we tried to play it off. We took it in, and we had came up with the idea outside. I was like, they're going to know it's something. They're going to know it's no pregnancy or something. And I said, why don't we, just walk in kind of like huff and puff kind of thing. And
just got in an argument.
like we just got in an argument, and then we both sit down and order a beer when they ask for a drink. And of course, I sit down, I order my Shiner, and she sits down. She's like, "I'll have a Shiner too." And everyone's
My dad's across from me, and he was just like,
everyone's like, "Okay, so is it or is it? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And at that time, we had gone ahead and took pictures of the pregnancy test, put them on the books that we had bought, and we had made cards. Each person of the family had their own individual card.
That's beautiful.
And it was written by the baby. So it was like, I can't wait to meet you, brother-in-law. I can't wait to meet you, grandma. So it was all written to them.
Brother-in-law?
Uncle, sorry. Sorry. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
Uncle, and it was written from the baby.
Right.
And we put the thing in there. And
The sonogram?
it was
It was
just
a
pregnancy
picture.
test.
I hadn't,
Oh,
I
okay.
hadn't gone to my
this was the
my
weekend
appointment yet.
before we had our first appointment on Monday.
Gotcha.
And so we gave her we gave him all the cards. I opened it, tears and laughter and happiness, and of course she slides the beer back in front of me and she's like, just kidding, I can't drink it. Everyone's,
Yeah.
Well, it was like, we thought you were pregnant or getting a divorce because they didn't see my ring on, and
Yeah.
I was only wearing my band that
Yeah.
day too.
so everyone's kind of like, oh yeah. So we had lunch and kind of let them know what was going on, and of course everybody's excited. That's gonna be my mom's first grandkid. That's gonna be my dad's fifth, and in the moment, that's when everything kind of started becoming real.
Is this before or after you told us?
This is, I think, before.
I think this is before.
Before
Actually,
you told us?
no, because y'all had known. I had told
I think
y'all
you told us
first.
like the day after her pregnancy test.
Yeah,
'cause
I
you
had
know what?
y'all were one of the first people to know, just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we had told people in our lives that we knew would affect.
Right.
And
Well,
this
like job wise.
right. So this was something that I'm doing.
Right.
And if I can't make it for appointments or something, I wanted y'all to be aware.
Right.
Just like I told just one person at my job, and I said, hey, if I just don't show up one day, this is what's happening, and you have the right to tell them that that's going on.
You don't have to say that just so your family doesn't feel bad. Like,
No.
we know we're the most important.
No, I wanted them to be y'all to be aware, because that could change the whole outcome about what we do here.
Right. And we kept the G code. I didn't tell nobody.
No, we didn't. And
Which we
well,
appreciate.
we recorded a couple of episodes with that
Yeah.
knowledge, and
Yeah.
we did very well with it. And we had that on Sunday with the family, and then Monday was our first appointment, which was probably the greatest thing of my life,
Yeah.
besides my wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, y'all both have kids, so you'll probably know what that feels like to be in that room. But
Yeah.
being able to look at something on a monitor, realizing that's your future now, was the craziest thing in the world.
And you and the person you love most in this world help make that together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That all the arguments and the strifes and the happiness and the joy and the anger and all that is just put aside from the past, and this is our new future. Like, this is it. Like, this is our ultimate goal in life is, fall in love with the one you love and build a family and watch them go out and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was on Monday. We got our sonogram. Come to find out, it was 7 weeks. So I was actually ahead.
Yeah, we thought you were 6.
Yeah, we thought it was 6. So it was actually 7 weeks. And then 2 days later, I had come home, or that Tuesday, I came home with like just atrocious back pain. Now, granted, I had been up and down, and it's okay. I had been walking around a whole lot, and we went to HEB, and then fucking walked the damn thing like 6 times. So I was tired, and I was like, man, my back
Worst
hurts.
idea: if your wife is pregnant, do not take her to HEB to go grocery shopping.
I
Don't
complained
do
the
that.
entire time. I was like, I want snacks. Give me goldfish and soda.
I tell you, our
Sprite.
grocery bill doubled that night.
It really
Sure.
did. I snacked on the way home too. And I was like, man, my back hurts. And he's like, well, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I think it's just because walking around and did a whole lot of work. So whatever. Got home, and then the back pain was just still steadily there, and it was just sore. And it's kind of like like how I would describe period pains. Like I was just like, man, it feels weird. And I got kind of worried because I was spotting that day, but it is normal after the vaginal ultrasound to have a little bit of spotting, and it wasn't like it was blood, it was just a little.
Yeah.
So I let it go, and we went to bed, and then I woke up at 2 a.m. with the most excruciating. Like, again, for me to wake up out of a dead sleep is a big deal.
Oh yeah, when she's asleep, you
When I'm
can't wake
asleep,
her
I'm
up.
asleep.
Yeah.
I woke up with excruciating back pain and like to where I couldn't even bend over. I couldn't stand up straight, and I was just like, something's wrong. Like I just knew immediately something was wrong.
Yeah.
I was still, and at this point I was bleeding, but it wasn't enough for it to be like super super bad. And I started looking up. So not to wake him up, I walked out of our bedroom and I went to the living room and sat down and was on my phone, like just like furiously going through everything, like what kind of signs and whatnot. I felt like Joshua Beard for once and like looking up everything because and going through, and then finally the pain got worse as I was just sitting there, and then it got to the point where I was crying. I have a pretty high pain tolerance because and I was like, something's really wrong. And like I could feel the cramping in the front, cramping in the back, and like it just like something was wrong. And then all of it, it felt like gas pain. So then I called our doctor, called the emergency line, and
Who's
the guy,
a most amazing doctor, by the way.
Yeah,
she
I
is
love
probably
her.
one. I forgot her name, but she is.
Dr. Joy LeBlanc.
Yeah, she is amazing. If you know who she is, you know who she is.
Yeah.
She's very awesome. But called the emergency line, and they were like, look, you can, like, since you were just here on Monday, this is Wednesday morning, so you were just here, you can wait for us to open, or you can be here at 7, or you can go to the hospital, and they're gonna tell you the same thing regardless of what it is, because it sounds like what you're having is a miscarriage. And I was just like, shit, okay. And of course I hung up, and by this time it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
That was that. I don't know if that was just you saying it nonchalantly. Is that how they said it? Like,
no, he said it a lot nicer, but
Okay.
like, in my opinion, since I've worked in the medical field, I don't want you to sugarcoat it.
you need the information.
I need you to just tell me what I need to know and then get off the fucking phone. Like, and at that point, I will cry about it later, but I need to know the information.
Right.
And so I hung up, and I was just like, I think that's what I'm having. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm having. So when I got up, I like yelped out, and of course one of the dogs were like, "Mom, what's wrong?" And I'm like, I think that's what it is. And so I went in there, and I was like, I couldn't make that decision on if we needed to go to the ER because the pain was really, really bad, or if I needed to wait for our doctor. And thankfully, the person at work, she has the she had the same doctor, and it's probably a HIPAA violation because I just said the doctor's name. Can we bleep out the doctor's name?
Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't say anybody else's name, though.
You just said the
we don't-
doctor. You
You
know the
said the
doctor.
person.
Yeah. So okay,
You're good.
I was like, is this a HIPAA violation?
No, you're good. No HIPAA violation here.
OSHA. However,
Nobody listens
Oh,
to this
shit.
shit anyway.
Now, mind you, at this time, she's doing all this
on my own. Like,
on her own.
He's dead
I'm,
asleep.
I'm not even awake. I'm not by her side. I'm not even aware of this time of what's
Right.
going on.
Yeah.
I'm still asleep.
Yeah, so I came in there and I woke him up, and again, never seen him wake up so quickly. But I was like, "Hey, I need you to wake up and make a decision." You're like, what's wrong? And because I was crying, he immediately knew something was wrong.
Right.
And he sat up and turned on his legs, like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." And he was like, "What?" I was like, I don't know how else you want me to put that, but I think that's what I'm having.
Yeah.
And this is what I had. Like I said, I told him that I called the doctor. This is what I looked up, sent him all the articles that I had just got done reading and, on his phone. And I was like, the doctor says we can either go to the ER or we go to the doctor. I need you to make the decision. I can't do it right now. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in so much pain. And so he goes, well, we decided to go to the doctor. And
After I called the doctor and asked her the exact same questions that Kay did,
yeah.
just to confirm what is going on.
Right.
Because they were like, we just talked to her. And he goes, yeah, I know, but she's like in a fluster, and I want to make sure she heard correctly. No, you heard her correctly. You need to do something.
Yeah.
So, and this time it was about 6 o'clock, and I'm still in excruciating pain. And then of course I was like, it just feels like I have to like fart, because like that's what it felt like, was just gas pain. And
Yeah.
I was in so much pain. So he was like, okay, let me get ready. And so he started getting up and getting dressed. And then it got to the point where I was just sitting in the bathroom because it felt more comfortable to be in there. And the pain was getting worse, and to where like I was crying. And then I ended up having a miscarriage at home.
Wow.
So he's okay.
It's if you haven't been through it, or you don't know somebody who has been through it, it's hard to describe that feeling. I think the way you guys told this story was perfect, because you talked about, it's okay, Kayla,
No, you're good.
we're gonna cry together.
I was
'cause you-
laughing.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
or laugh.
That's her mechanism.
that's
for
my
she doesn't
defense
cry.
mechanism.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what I was saying is that the way you guys told the story, I mean, think about the joy that you had the day you went to go get that ultrasound. And we're talking about days later.
Yeah. 48 hours.
Yeah. That's rough.
Almost to the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
That's rough.
yeah.
because I took my test at like 6 or 7 in the morning. No, I took it at like 4 in the morning. I waited for you to wake up.
Yeah.
Well, then 2 days later, I was in the hospital because I was having the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I called the doctor again, she goes, "It sounds like you have an ectopic pregnancy and you need to go to the hospital," which we're fucking freaking out about that. And
Yeah.
come to find out, I just had a bladder infection because of all the blood that
Yeah.
you pass during it. But
That's the one
Right.
time I got to go 110 miles an hour down 45 with flashers on to get to ER on the time.
Yeah.
I also punched Josh in the face by accident.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By accident or
No, it was.
I'm
by
just saying,
accident.
like, that's one of those things. If you don't know anybody who's gone through it or you haven't gone through it, and somebody says, "Oh, I had a miscarriage," yeah, you think, "Oh, that's too bad," but like,
Yeah.
it's pretty devastating, and I imagine for no one more than you, Kayla. So,
And I'll tell you this too. You say, even if you don't know someone, I guarantee you right now,
You probably do.
you probably do.
They're
right,
just not saying
Because unfortunately, it happens 1 in every 4 pregnancies.
yeah,
And for some reason, this has some stigma to it that women don't want to talk about it. Like it's
Yeah.
not something that happens.
Yeah.
But it does. It does.
yeah, for sure. But for me, I remember when I said this privately yesterday, and I want to say publicly that when Josh texted us and told us what was happening, I had some other stuff going on myself. And so I was even kind of guilty of, like, I had a miscarriage and I thought to myself, "Oh man, that sucks."
Mhm.
But I was kind of dealing with something else. And then later that day, when I actually got to sit down and I read the text message again, and I thought about Josh sitting here and telling us about it, and I thought about him showing us the sonogram and shit, and I was like, that's when it was like, fuck.
I mean, and that's natural human
Yeah.
thing. Like we didn't even want to come up here and say like, "Oh, we had one. Feel sorry."
Right.
You know, it's like
No, understood.
It's like everyone has. Shit
It's part
going
of your
on.
story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's again one of those things that, in my older age, I've really embraced the saying of finding the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this one's rough,
Yeah.
this one's tough, and as I sit here right now in front of y'all three, it's still something that I struggle.
Yeah.
I think I've told you, Nick, in private, and I'll say it here too, is the thing that I struggled with is, as a man, we're raised to fix everything.
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do. Like, if the car breaks, we fix the car.
Right.
If whatever happens, we need to fix it.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do at 4:30 in the morning when your wife is screaming bloody murder,
Yeah.
and that's going on.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing.
Yeah. So
Not knowing what's going to happen. I don't know what this is going to look like. And I struggled with that.
yeah.
I really did. And like I said, it's something that's still sitting there and kind of in my brain, and it will raise its head every once in a while just to remind me, I guess.
Completely understandable. Let's keep in mind what you guys got going for you, though. You already told us of 2 other times in your life where you guys faced heavy adversity, stuff that almost broke you guys, and you made it through it.
Mhm.
And I said a little bit earlier, everything you've been through is preparing you for the next one. And unfortunately, this happened, and it was just one more of those instances that's preparing you for what comes next. And it sucks, but you can pull a silver lining out of it with that.
Oh yeah.
Because, and I told you guys this, I have all the faith in the world, and I don't even know if this is wrong to say. It's going to happen for you guys when the time is right.
Yeah.
And when it does, you're going to appreciate it that much more
Oh, yeah.
because of going through this.
Yeah.
And, I told you guys I love you. I was blessed to be one of the few people who knew about it. And it was hard to hear when we found out that you had the miscarriage, but oddly, it made me feel closer to you guys. Like, we talk about this all the time. You really become, for your friends, really become family when you go through things together. And the fact that I was one of the people who knew about what you guys were going through, I feel honored that, number one, that you guys wanted to share that with me, that you came here today on the show and told this part of your journey. And you need a mute?
No, I just. Sorry.
I mean, just bust a Josh and sneeze.
You're being so sentimental. I'm like, my nose, like, sneeze.
No, it's all good.
Oh my
It's all
God,
good.
you're
No,
good, go
and-
for it.
and
She's
you know-
allergic to my bullshit, is what she's saying.
No, and
don't
you
like
know,
it.
kind of to piggyback on what you're saying is, I think that was also a turning point for the show, for me being on the show.
Yeah.
Because at that time I didn't know what was going to happen. But like you said, I felt like I got closer to y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, most of y'all know I helped Nick buy the house, and I helped him do that. And I haven't done that for Naomi, but I almost count her as a sister.
Yeah.
We're cracking, crack jokes, and we really do act like siblings. And I really feel
sure.
like we got really close during that time. And I think
sure.
I had a lot more. I don't want to say respect, but I was appreciative of the
When you
people
came
who
back
I was in.
after, because you had your moment where you were down, and when you came back, I felt like you were rejuvenated, and
Yeah.
just sitting here at this desk after all, because like I said, I had been going through something. Naomi, like when we finally
a bad
came
week.
back, yeah,
It was. We were all. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
bad.
You know what?
And-
Let's just take this week off, and then next week.
yeah. When we finally came back, like it was a good feeling, man.
Yeah.
And so,
And for those of you wonder now why we had our 2-week break, it's
Yeah.
because we all had something
there
going
was a
on
lot
in
of
this
stuff
life.
going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
There was a lot of stuff going
But
on.
even add to that those 2 weeks, we took our time. We addressed what was going on in our personal lives, and then yet we still came back to the show
Yeah.
and still came out and did our thing.
Yeah.
Which again is I think a testament to us as well, is
Yeah.
regardless of what goes on,
We pick
We-
up our stuff and we keep
we-
going.
yeah,
we-
you keep
Yeah.
going.
We can take pride in that.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a testament to what this is. Naomi calls it microphone therapy. Like
Absolutely.
all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so when we get in here, that's kind of when we get to unwind and let it off our chest. I'm so glad that you guys did this all in the family. I'm glad we got to hear. I even learned some stuff about you guys today that I didn't know. So that's why I love doing this. It's
Very
beautiful.
scary.
The listeners did. The listeners did as well.
I'm not gonna lie when I say like sometimes it's got microphone therapy remorse. I'm like, oh, why did I say that?
Don't worry, there's a couple of
I
sound
should have
drops
went to
over there.
real therapy. God damn. What the fuck did I just say?
Sorry, internet.
No, man, but your guys, I mean, your 5th year anniversary is coming up. You guys are just getting started, man. So
Yeah.
and every single one of these obstacles is just making you guys stronger. And you guys are an example to anybody who falls in love at a young age. Like, it's possible. It's
Boom.
possible.
Boom.
Well, now that we got all the emotions and the
Can we go
sniffles
cry
out of the
now?
way. Yeah, let's cry while we do an ad. And then we're gonna try to lighten the mood with a little game of the Oldlywed Game. So let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and get a Myriad mobile ad first. Hey guys, it's Nick Stevenson again, here to tell you about my friend Brian Wells and his mobile welding and mobile mechanic service, Myriad Mobile. Brian has been welding for over 20 years, and he will let his work speak for itself. Welding repairs, whether they're industrial or residential, wrought iron fencing, he can repair that old rusty fence and repaint it, or he'll even build you a new one. Oh, and in case you missed it, that's right. I also said that Brian offers mobile mechanic services. You need a part changed, your brakes or your oil change? Why not do it from the comfort of your own home? Myriad Mobile will come to you. So whether it's an industrial or residential welding repair, or you need a new fence, or you don't want to drive or have your car towed to the mechanic shop, then call my friend Brian Wells at Myriad Mobile. The number to call is 713-538-6938. That's 713-538-6938. Myriad Mobile, welding and car repair. Tell them that Nick from the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast sent you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oldlywed Game, the only game show where you win absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Josh and Kayla are our participants. Naomi, I love you.
I'll sit this one out.
No. I love you.
You're his Vanna, though.
You're the new wild card.
I kind of what I wanted to do in this episode is kind of let them talk, and you know, in the future, I'm still learning. In the future, you and I want us to prepare for these interviews together.
Got it.
So that we can split the questions and stuff. But I mean, I'm still glad you're here. You've done a wonderful job, and your laugh, your laugh is infectious. We've been
absolutely.
We've been recording for a minute, but it's all good. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty.
I'm dropping those absolutelys just for a while. That's what that is.
For sure. Okay, so we're gonna start with Kayla and Josh. So you guys know how this game works. I sent Josh some questions. I sent you some questions. Whoever's turn it is, you have to guess how your partner answered their questions. If you get the answer correct, you will hear this. Yeah, buddy. And if you get the answer wrong, you will hear this.
Love it.
Alrighty. And I will let you know, because this is the Oldlywed Game, play off the Newlywed Game. Full disclosure to you and the audience, there will be whoopee questions.
That's nasty.
All right. So when the whoopee question comes up, that's the sound drop you're going to hear.
Nice.
Alrighty. Let's start with Kayla. You got your little. Everybody have a pen?
So she's answering their question about me.
Yes.
Okay.
Kayla?
So I need to write down the answer, right?
No, I have your answer here. I mean,
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have to write down the answer that she thinks
Yeah.
it is.
that's right.
Yeah.
He writes down his answer, so whenever he shows it, if it's right,
right. But I have. Are you going to remember what you answered?
probably not.
Probably not. But
That's the problem.
No, I got it. I got this.
Okay, Kayla. We asked Josh to name something he wishes that you did more like his mother. What do you think his answer was?
Nick, are you wanting us to get into like a fight? Because I mean, it can happen.
He wrote down really fast what his.
I also don't like how much he's writing.
He's over there
down.
scribbling.
He's writing story over there.
What's the question again? What I did more
We
like
asked
Stacey?
Josh. We asked Josh what is something he wishes that you did more like his mother.
I am so excited right now.
Are you aroused?
Not quite that excited. This is weird.
I don't know.
Just take a stab.
Probably cooking meatloaf. I don't know because
No,
Cooking meatloaf.
He likes some stupid meatloaf.
Do I need to turn around, Nick?
What
The
is
correct
it?
answer is drink more beer.
Go on more of your chores.
Fuck off, okay? I like my.
All
liquor.
right.
I nailed it.
So no points for Kayla.
That's
No
what I
points for Kayla.
You know,
All right.
that's probably like the best case answer right there. Okay,
Yeah.
like seriously.
Exactly.
All right, Josh. We asked Kayla, what is Josh's most annoying habit? What do you think she said?
Most annoying.
You're
Not
gonna write
choosing
it,
a-
you're gonna write it down.
Not choosing a restaurant.
Not choosing a restaurant.
Not choosing a restaurant or a place to eat.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Being indecisive.
Nailed
That's what
it.
she said.
Nailed it.
Beautiful. So
That
that's one
argument
for
you-
Josh. Who's keeping score? Josh won.
Got one.
Give Naomi one.
Did you know too?
No, I meant give her one to keep.
Oh
score.
man.
Oh. Oh shit.
All right,
hey, I got
Kayla.
one.
We asked Josh, what Sesame Street character best describes Kayla when she wakes up in the morning?
Oscar the Grouch.
That is correct. Yeah, buddy.
You didn't even have time to write it.
My favorite though. I like him in the blue one.
As soon as you said that question, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in
the
trouble
blue
for this one."
Muppets. No, that one's true though.
All
It was
right.
either that or animal, but he's
He's more like you.
yeah. I mean, that's also the Muppets, but
Oh.
Okay.
that's why I
Josh,
had to change it.
Yikes.
we asked Kayla what was the most annoying thing her mother-in-law, your mother, has ever said to her.
This one might be bad.
When y'all gonna have kids?
Yeah. I was just getting there. Kids.
Yeah, she said, she actually had a really long answer. It says, yikes. She has made jokes about becoming a grandma before she gets too old.
And then I put that joke doesn't get made anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Obviously.
Womp womp.
For obvious
Womp womp.
reasons. Yeah. Alrighty.
Sorry, Stacey.
So,
Laughing at life trauma.
okay, so Josh, you have 2. Kayla has 1. All right, Kayla. This is the third question. We asked Josh, what is the most cringy thing he has ever said during whoopee?
That's nasty.
Most cringy thing.
I don't fucking know. I feel like he hardly talks.
The most
during
cringe
it.
thing he's ever said during whoopee.
Is it more?
Yeah, buddy. The answer is more in his best Kylo Ren voice. Are you talking about
Kylo Ren.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
God.
What's the score? Are you guys tied?
2-2.
All right, we got a tiebreaker then.
Oh, we didn't answer this one.
The tiebreaker is coming. All right, Josh, we asked Kayla, which of these roller coasters best describes whoopee
That's nasty.
with Josh? Is it A, greased lightning, thrilling but fast? B, it's a small world, because it's the motion that counts? Or is it C, Space Mountain, out of this world?
I know it's not Space Mountain. Maybe. It depends on how good I
like how
feel.
Nick laughs in the background.
It's just funny. Do you need to hear the questions
Can you
again?
hear that again?
Is it A, greased lightning, thrilling but fast?
Like, I feel like that's the honest answer.
B, it's a small world, because it's the motion that counts. Or C, Space Mountain, out of this world. How do you think Kayla answered?
Are you being nice?
Because just tell us how she answered.
I'm not looking at you. You're gonna have to fucking figure it out on your own.
My honest answer is going to be grease lightning.
She even drew pictures.
Her answer was
Everything.
Space Mountain, out of this world.
Look at her penis.
So
Look at the penis.
Woo! Look at her penis.
Nice.
Okay. So we're still tied 2-2. It's okay. I got bonus questions. I need you both to write down the answer to this.
Oh, God.
You're going to answer how you think the other person.
okay, so how he would answer?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So your answer is going to be mine.
I get it.
And my
Okay.
answer is
And then before we reveal, you're going to say out loud. All right. Who's the best dancer? Who does Kayla think is the best dancer? Who does Josh think is the best dancer?
not us, right?
Yeah, you're going to write down who
Can we
you
lie
think
and not
Kayla
say either of
is going to answer that. And you're going to put how you think Josh is going to answer that.
Stop looking at me like that. It's weird.
All right. Josh, how do you think Kayla's going to answer?
I'm going to say that she thinks I'm the best dancer.
I said kinda.
But Joshua, kinda.
Okay. But you didn't answer. Who do you think is the best dancer?
Who, me? Him? That's what I'm saying. I think
No. He did it wrong.
I didn't do it wrong.
You were supposed to write down who you think she was supposed to write down who you thought.
Yeah.
So
me.
you thought Josh was going to say himself?
yeah.
Oh.
For sure.
Were you going to say yourself?
Yeah.
So then we're still tied. Okay.
So we're Oldlyweds.
All right. Here's another one. Who farted in front of the other person first?
Joshua.
Write it down.
You already killed that one. How are we going to break this tie?
That's all the questions you have?
No. Hold on.
These questions are
More.
great.
Get out of here.
Okay. This is what we're going to do. I want you guys to write down a movie title that best describes
That's nasty.
your love life. Movie title. And then write it down, but don't say anything. Josh, you put down the title you think it is. Kayla, you put down the title you think it is, and you guys are both gonna guess who did the right movie.
Oh God.
So I'm putting down what I think it is.
No, you're writing down what your choice for the movie title would be,
Okay.
and then he's gonna guess what you wrote down,
Okay.
and you're gonna put your movie title, and she's gonna guess what you wrote down.
I've got so many ideas right now.
What's Josh's favorite movie franchise again?
I would love to say the quote that is from Training Day. If you know, you know.
Oh man, come on, man! This isn't Jeopardy. Are you gonna write? Is that too hard of a question?
No, I don't know a lot of it.
So many different choices.
So I'm gonna put my
I gotta
answer
figure out a
first. And then
tiebreaker.
his.
Yes, you're gonna put your answer, and he's gonna guess what you wrote down.
What's that one movie? I can't think of the name.
I didn't plan for you guys to tie. Hold on.
You
Nick,
didn't
we're the,
plan for us to know
we're the
each other.
Oldlyweds. Come on, man.
Alrighty. Let's have some music in the
Are you
background.
laughing at mine?
I hate Dead Space. The Oldlywed Game does not have any sponsorship, but if anyone would like to sponsor the Oldlywed Game, we would be more than happy to let you do so. We got our answers. All right, Kayla, what do you think Josh put?
Fuck. Wait, for me?
What do you think Josh put?
Nightmare Before Christmas?
The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
What do you think she put?
What did I think she put?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if it says Fast and Furious on that board, I'm gonna be pissed.
I was gonna say it.
That's why I asked what Josh's favorite movie
I
franchise
feel
is.
so justified right now.
Oh.
What
not
is on
bad.
hers?
What is on? Yeah. I think we did this right. I don't think we still did it right.
What you
No,
put for me?
What for
definitely,
you?
You definitely did it wrong. I want you. I asked what movie title best describes your sex life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pick the movie title you think best describes it, and she had to pick the one she thinks.
Right.
What do you think she picked?
Why y'all laughing? Because y'all can see the board. That's not fair.
I've just got so many different movie titles going through my head that I think would be really applicable.
I'm just gonna go on a limb. Halloween.
Yeah, buddy.
I could not even believe that just happened.
Josh is the champion of the Oldlywed Game.
Oh god.
What the fuck did you put?
I put Scream because the neighbors know my name.
That's a good one.
That's beautiful.
Is it really bad that we put each other's favorite
Horror movies.
movies? Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love y'all.
We love y'all too.
Guys, this was fun.
Oh
I had a
my
good
God.
time, and I hope the listeners had a good time as well. We went on a little emotional roller coaster there,
That was fun.
but we always like to end it on a positive note. So once again, guys, thank you for coming on the show and doing the All in the Family series. I can't wait to do Naomi and Clint. It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a sound drop.
That's gonna
Can't
be
wait to do Naomi and Clint.
We could just call Lindsay.
Popsicles.
Popsicles.
Okay. No, but this was a really. I appreciate you guys coming, telling the story, hanging out. I know it's getting late. Naomi, thanks for hanging in there.
For
We
sure.
love you for sure. But it was a good time. We want to thank the bear. Have we named the bear yet?
Yeah, this is barely Nick.
Barely Nick. Okay. We want to thank the bear for sitting in the captain's chair today. And thank you to all of the listeners. Once again, please follow us on social. Follow us on social media, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And please rate the show. Tell us what you do like, what you don't like. Leave us a review. We want to get more involved with you guys and get your feedback. And once again, go to the Spirit Swag store as well. So
It's hoodie season. We got
it is
hoodies.
hoodie season, and they're there.
Sweater weather.
Don't forget to use Spirit Sniffers. It's 20% off, whatever your purchase is. Alrighty. So
Nick didn't even catch it.
it's strong, but you'll get used to it. All right. So I'm going to get us out of here for our special guests this time, Josh Beard and his beautiful wife, Kayla. And Well, I almost fucked that up. Almost did it again. I'm used to do a third person. Okay, I'm gonna get us out of here. For our guests, Josh Beard and his beautiful wife Kayla. My name's Nick Stevenson.
And I'm Naomi Richardson, and we will catch you next time. Woo-woo.
You've been listening to the Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast. For more show content, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to visit spiritswagstore.com for everything you need to rep your favorite podcast in style.